Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kathleen Mulready. Make sure you subscribe if you want to stay up to date with my videos. I release them every Friday.
Everyone, Editing Kathleen here is just popping in to tell you to vote for Biden. In my other video, my last video, I said I'm not going to tell you what to do, but like vote for Biden, okay? So a lot of states have closed, you can't register to vote in time for the election. So if your state still allows you to register to vote, do it, register to vote, you know? But if your state won't allow you to register to vote, you better have already registered, you know? And you have to be voting for Biden because our country needs that right now, you know? Like, I don't think we can survive another 4 years of this monster in office. And like, think about it this way. I know the candidates, it's two white men. It's two old white men. It might not be the best thing ever. But think about it this way. It's either a misogynistic, sexist, homophobic freak in office for another 4 years, or it's the first female vice president. Okay? Like, that makes it so easy to figure out who to vote for, you know? Like, just vote for Biden-Harris, please. I am wearing my Biden-Harris shirt, so go vote for them. Please. I know I have, like, 450 subscribers, like, it's not doing much, but, like, you 450 people, please go vote for Biden if you're 18 or older. Please. It'll, like, make my year, you know? Please. Sorry, this is so long, but think about how amazing it would be to end 2020 with Trump, like, being voted out. Think about that. That's just, like, the perfect way to end this awful year that we're having, you know? Okay, it's like, okay, vote for Biden, thanks, bye.
This week I'm going to be talking about what got me into Tulane and just like college application tips and stuff like that, because I know a lot of you guys are probably applying to college right now with the big November deadlines coming up, so we're gonna do that. So basically I have my little list of stuff I need to include, so I'm gonna talk about like where I got in and where I applied, and then like the process of like my applications and that stuff, and then I'm just gonna talk about a lot of my like little tips that I have for the application process, because it is very tricky to navigate and it is a mess sometimes, but I'm gonna try to help you as best I can because I went through it and I know what it's like. So let's get into the video. So first I'm just going to talk about where I applied. So I have my list here because I literally forgot, but I applied to Chapman University in California, Miami University in Ohio, Michigan State University in Michigan, Providence College in Rhode Island, Santa Clara University in California, Tulane University in New Orleans, Louisiana, University of Colorado Boulder in Colorado, University of Denver, also in Colorado, and University of Washington, Seattle in Washington.
Voiceover Kathleen is here to talk about my big folder for college. This is my folder. These are the different application password and IDs that I have for each school, and an individual document for each one. Editing Kathleen is here again to tell you that this was so helpful. Like, I highly recommend doing this. You don't have to do separate documents because I was sort of crazy like that, but basically I copied and pasted like the link to the like admissions portal. You have to create like an account with each school once you apply, because then you can get your acceptance rate there on that portal. So I can probably show you my Tulane one. I'll like insert it here as I go through, but basically I had the link there, and then I could press on that link, and then I also had the password and like the ID or whatever it was, because different schools have different things. So instead of having to like try to remember what my password was for each different school, I could just like, I probably saved most of them in the portal anyway, but I had it right there, so I didn't have to like, I wasn't like freaking out when the acceptance like letters came out or whatever, when the decisions came out. I wasn't freaking out and trying to like remember my password frantically. Like, I could just go in and it would already be right on that document. So I highly recommend doing that, because I know people really struggle to get into their portal sometimes when the decisions were released. So that is a huge tip that I forgot to mention later in the video, but definitely do that. This is the college fair information. So there was a college fair when I was in high school, and my high school went. This is the PowerPoint I made with information and notes I took from each school. And then I was just like super detailed with that. But my PowerPoints do get more detailed. I was crazy with my PowerPoints. It was absurd. And then these are the notes that I took while I was there. I ended up taking these notes and putting them into that PowerPoint, so it was more organized and it wasn't just a list of stuff. This is my essay folder. These were my essay ideas and just different things that I thought about writing my college essay about. So I had that document, and then this was in my applications. This was my big Common App essay. This is the one that I actually submitted to all the schools, and I also used it for the coalition. But yeah, so I had every day I edited, like every time I edited the essay I wrote it at the top, and then it was 638 words because it had to be, I don't know, a certain, like 650 words or something, so that was that. And then I had a folder for my coalition supplemental essays. I only applied to one school on the coalition app. It was actually really annoying because I had to fill out the whole coalition app, and then I literally never even heard from the school because I had to rescind that application. I'll get into that later. But there were 2 questions for that, so that was that one. I put the questions in and then the essay. So now I'm just going to show you my Providence essay, so it's right here. And these are the 2 options that you could write about, so I just copied and pasted that there. And then I answered the first question, and then I had that it was 347 words, and then there was that essay, so I was organized. I did that for each of my schools, so it kept me very organized. Okay, now I'm just clicking through the folders because I couldn't figure out which folder to get back to. Here's the mom-dad access folder. A lot of stuff I didn't want my parents to have access to, just because I was working on it myself and I didn't want to get stressed out. But this was a big folder, or a big spreadsheet that my dad actually created for me. He like wrote out a bunch of different schools and a lot of different information, and then I put it in this spreadsheet, and we would share that information, and I ended up taking stuff out and using some of them and then crossing some off. This was a trip that my mom and I planned, and I did a lot of the research for it, so I created this and then shared it with her so we could look into different schools. This was when I was super into theater, so we looked at certain schools and stuff like that. The next folder is recommendations. So these are just the documents that I had to fill out for each teacher writing a recommendation for me. I had 2 teachers at my school write one, and then I had different like character ones. This was the resume folder. So this is my academic resume that I submitted, and I'll show you in a second that I had like community service stuff right there, and then I had athletics, and then I had a big section which was theater at the top, because that was like my main activity in high school. Alright, now I'm going to show you my 9. This is like the big holy grail spreadsheet. I had listed all my colleges on the side. I had like location, undergrad, acceptance rate, GPA, ACT. I had all that stuff there. I'm going to go through and show you all that. And then I had whether it was a safety target or reach, the deadline of the application, the number of supplemental essays needed, the essays that I completed, application submission date, the decision and when I found out, merit scholarship that I was given when I got my acceptance, the admitted major, the mascot because I thought that was important, my thoughts, and then the rank like 1 through 9. As you can see, like you might have missed it, but it said Denver was like my least favorite, and then Tulane was my number 1 favorite. And then it says the green is like I was accepted, the yellow is I was deferred, and I never ended up hearing from the University of Washington, so that's why it is left blank. I already mentioned that a little bit. But this is my big document. I just put so much information in here. It was so helpful. I highly recommend doing this because it kept me very, very, very organized, and it made me stay on top of my stuff. So highly recommend doing something like that. That was a huge, huge, huge lifesaver for me. Alright, back into this. This is my big college original spreadsheet. This is once I started to narrow down schools. I think it was like 13 schools on here that I was thinking of applying to, and this one from here I was able to narrow down which schools I ended up applying to. So these, I think I actually did end up submitting my ACT score to all these schools, which was a little, don't do that, like submit your ACT score after you enroll because that's just extra money, but that's something I did. So there's my big folder.
Okay, so I was one of the people that wrote my college, my like Common App essay extremely early. I wrote it in like January of my junior year because I took a class and we wrote like a trial, like first draft kind of college essay just to see what it was like, and I ended up using that one. So my essay, I like edited it and like changed it a lot, but it was basically done by like September of my senior year, which was really, really nice. So that kept me on track with the whole application process, and that made it a lot easier to write the supplemental essays, which I'll talk about in a sec, because those were so incredibly tedious, and those are things you have to watch out for, because I had experiences with the, what are they called, the supplemental essays, and it was not a good time.
Okay, so I said I would talk about it later, but I didn't, so I'm gonna talk about it now. But basically, my issue with supplemental essays was, if you go into the Common App, it'll say like, okay, like this school has one additional essay, like it'll say writing and then one additional essay or something, and you're like, oh my god, that's awesome, only one. But then you have to look through the essay, because in like education or something, you have to put in your preferred major, and then sometimes it'll ask you to write an essay about why you want to do that major. So you have to like look out for these essays, because that won't say there. Sometimes the applications don't say that there's an additional essay, even though there is somewhere in the application. You know, like, good thing I tried to submit my applications early, because I went to go submit my application for Chapman, which said there were no additional essays. So like, that is so amazing. But then I went to go turn it in, and this whole other page popped up that I had literally never seen before, and it asked me to do like 250 characters, like a bunch. There were like 10 different questions, like 250 characters, which isn't long, but that made it harder because you had to try to squeeze in your answers to these little questions, like with only a few words. And then there were also some additional larger questions that were like 250 words, answer this, and I literally had never seen this before, and I thought I was done with the application. So that happened a couple times to me. The biggest one that stood out to me was Chapman, but a lot of schools asked me like, why do you want to do this major? And it was like embedded in the application, and it wasn't like a separate writing thing. So just look out for that, because there are a lot of schools do that and they hide their questions, so you have to find them and make sure you do them.
Something I recommend doing very early is creating a schedule for like when you need to get certain supplemental essays done. I did that, and it helped me stay on track I don't know how to phrase that, but it very much helped me stay on track, because I knew, okay, like this deadline is November 1st, and I have to have this essay first written by October 13th, and then edited and done by October 17th or something, you know. So it kept me busy, and it kept me from getting like procrastinating and doing it all at the end, because I would have done that if I didn't have the schedule. I also kept track of when I finished writing them, so then I wasn't worried about like missing one. So I had all the stuff down. I also had an individual sheet, like a different Google Doc for each school that I was applying to, where I could write the essays and put the questions that they wanted me to answer and stuff like that, so I could keep it all together. And then when I wanted to go submit the application, I could just copy and paste the different essays into the Common App or the Coalition app for one school in particular, and then submit them. I applied to 7 schools early action, and then I applied to Michigan State rolling admission, which means you find out like within like 2 weeks or whatever of you applying. There's not like a specific release date where there's not like one due date and then a release date when they tell everyone. And then I applied to one school of regular decision, and that was University of Washington, because they didn't offer early. So I submitted that in November, but they wouldn't tell me my decision until March. I was accepted at Chapman, Miami, Michigan State, Providence, Boulder, Denver, and then I ended up applying to Tulane early decision 2 after I got deferred early action. And so I found out in December that I was deferred, which means I won't get an official decision until March, when they release the regular decisions as well. So I could either apply early decision 2 or just put it in the rest of the applications for regular decision. So I decided I wanted to go early decision 2, which just means if you get in, you have to go. So my dad and we flew down at the end of December to go see the school, because I hadn't seen it yet, and I walked around and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go here. So I applied early decision 2 and I got in January. So then I never ended up hearing from University of Washington if I got in or not, because I had to pull that application. Same with Santa Clara University in California. That one I got deferred as well, so I pushed it back to regular decision, and I never heard from them because I had to pull that application when I got into Tulane because I had to go there. Big tips I have for the college process. You really want to stretch yourself. Looking back, I really only applied to one reach school, and that was Tulane. I was afraid of rejection, and I didn't stretch myself enough. I only applied to the one reach. This is one that I kind of developed for myself while I was applying. I said, like, okay, allow yourself like 3 breakdowns and then just get past it, because there will be times that were super stressful during the process and it was just a mess and everything would, I don't know, I would just lose it for a second, because I would have a lot of supplemental essays I had to write, or I would find new supplemental essays that I had to write, and it was very, very, very annoying. So just allow yourself like 3 breakdowns max and then just move on with it, because everyone that's applying to college goes through this process and it's not as bad as it might seem at first. It actually gets a lot easier once you get the hang of it. This is like my biggest tip ever, and that is be organized. I showed you my folder. It's literally, it's crazy. I had so many different like subfolders within the folder of application process. It was crazy. I probably didn't need to be that organized, but it just stressed me out to have anything like in the wrong folder or in like the wrong place and not have a specific home. So I don't know, it just made me get everything done and get it done on time, and I was able to end up submitting all my applications like before they were due. It can be stressful, so just being organized will make it a lot easier. Another thing, I kind of touched on this a little bit, but complete and submit your applications early. You don't want to stress about the deadline, and I've heard that it can like, the Common App can crash on like November 1st or something when everyone is submitting their applications at the same time, so you want to try to submit it early. I got lucky because my mom and I went on a college trip to actually go see 2 of the schools I applied to at the end of October into the beginning of November. So I was away on November 1st, so that made me get all my applications in before I had to leave, so they were in by like October 30th or October 29th, so that was really good, so I didn't have to stress about that deadline coming up. I'll add a couple tips about Tulane specifically. This school is big on demonstrated interest. That is a huge thing they look for. Demonstrated interest just means that the school wants to know you are interested in them. So you want to go to, if you can fly down, if you can drive down, whatever, if you can get to the school and take a tour. I know it's a little different with COVID, and that's just a whole other thing, but Tulane is offering tours, and if you can get down to do a tour, that's a really big deal. If not, if that is a financial burden, don't worry about it. You can go to online tours. I know a lot of schools are doing that now. Tulane is definitely doing online tours. You can do online information sessions. You can still, big thing, email your advisor or your, what is it, Maddie, what's it called?
What's it called?
Like the person that reads your application?
Your admissions counselor?
Yes, email the admissions counselor for your area, but don't bombard them with emails. Email them like once or twice, being like, hi, my name is Kathleen. I'm applying from Massachusetts. I'm very interested in the school. What is your favorite part of New Orleans or something? You know, just to like get them talking and get your name out there to show that you are interested in the school. So then when they're reading your application, they'll be like, oh, I remember this person. They sent me a really nice email. They really want to come here. They told me that in their email. Don't bombard them with emails because it gets stressful. They don't want a ton of emails from the same person. They just email them like once or twice, like email them if they respond, great, send them a response, and then be done. Don't like go crazy with the emails, but definitely try to get your name out there. Tulane has an optional essay, and it's called Why Tulane, and that, it's not an optional essay. If you want to get into the school, you have to write it. I'm pretty sure they probably like throw your application out if you don't write it, and they won't even read it because demonstrated interest. So if you don't take the time to write their essay, then why would they accept you to their school where demonstrated interest is a big thing? You should definitely try to get involved in community service as soon as possible, because that's a graduation requirement for us. We have to have certain classes that have community service involved in them. So that's a big thing they look for. Maddie, what do you have to say?
if you have the opportunity to interview, definitely do it.
Not just Tulane, like every school.
Yes, every single school.
I think I did one interview and I thought it went poorly, but I ended up getting in, so.
Yeah, and you want to be yourself, because basically the way my mom used to say it is it's all about the hooks. So if you have hooks, you want to use as many as possible. So if for Tulane, for example, if you do community service, that's a clear hook for the school. But others can include interviews, filling out extra applications, reaching out to your admissions counselor, showing demonstrated interest in like a sport, like stuff like that. It's all about getting hooks and making yourself clearly, if you're a well-rounded person, you need to do that and you need to do it well. And if you're a straight and narrow, like I'm neuroscience, that's everything I've done is dedicated to neuroscience, you have to sell it and be like, this is my passion. That's why everything's dedicated to this one thing.
You want them to think they can't build a class without you in it. And that's like
I've never heard that before.
That's what I've heard. Like this is your time to sell yourself. Like you need to show them that you are gonna like be an active member of their community. So you want to put your best foot forward. You don't just want to kind of phone it in and be like, okay, I guess I'll apply here. No. You know, you have to like show interest and show that you'd be a good addition to the school.
Can I discuss with your viewers my fascination with ballet?
This video is about college, actually.
If you're a ballerina, comment below. I've got a couple questions for you.
Okay. You will go to the school that's right for you. So I know this is like a very stressful time and I want to try to offer some help and some guidance in this. So if you guys like have any questions about the college process, like please reach out to me. Please comment. You can DM me on Instagram, do whatever. Instagram, follow me. It's like, that didn't really make any sense. Follow me on Instagram. It's in the description below. Please follow me on Instagram. You can DM me if you have any questions, because I feel like I went about this process in a, like, not to brag or anything, but I feel like I went about this process in a really good way because I was super organized and I got everything done. The one thing I would say is I didn't stretch myself enough. So, like, I didn't think I was gonna get into Tulane, but here I am. I am here at Tulane right now. And you never know what's gonna happen. Like, you could be the one that applies to Yale and gets in, you know? You never know. Oh, jeez. And with COVID, it's really weird. So just like stretch yourself. Like I know a lot of you are probably getting tired of your hometown and where you are because of COVID and you're stuck there. If you want to go somewhere different, now is your chance. I am telling you, if you want to go to California for college, go to California for college, you know? Like do whatever you want. These are your 4 years to do what you want. Maddie, we're hyping him up now. Okay. You can do it. You can get through it. If I can get through this, you can get through this. Please reach out to me if you want any help or any guidance, because I know it's a really stressful time. Maddie's extremely smart, so
okay,
listen to her.
So are you. Shut up. I'm not gonna lie, it's a super stressful process.
And everyone knows it's stressful. It's not just you. That's like, the thing.
To the point where I refuse to talk to anyone except my parents and my counselor about it, just because I knew that other people would stress me out. Mm-hmm. But my point is, people go about it in different ways. Some people don't take the same exact approach of gossiping about it every second of every day, and that's fine. And that's not meant to be a bag at anyone.
Yeah, I like talking about it. It actually helped me to talk about it, so do whatever works for you.
Exactly. But the point is, once it's done,
it's done. It's done
it's not
fast.
That big a deal.
Yeah, my applications were in, it was done, and then you're just like, wow, that was so stressful. That was a really stressful few months for me, but it's over now, and then you just have to wait, which is also really stressful, so I'm sorry about that too. But then you're done. Like, I found out about my schools by January. Like, I knew where I was going in January. Nice. I knew where I was going in January. But some people, you might not know until May, and that's fine. It's totally okay.
I knew in May.
Yeah, it's gonna be
an EA, but I wasn't sure until May.
Yeah, because she's smarter than me. We get it. We get it. You didn't have to say that. Don't touch me, my ears. Ow. No. But yeah, we know it's a very stressful period, and I just wanted to like do this video to help you guys. I don't know. This is like kind of a mess right now. Maddie's kind of popcorn, but. Let me know if you have questions. I've said it like maybe, yeah, Maddie has advice, but I've said it like maybe 700 times, but please reach out to me. I like talking to you guys, and I would love to help you guys because my sister doesn't like talking to me about this process that she's going through right now. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Piece of advice from Maddie.
Yeah. It's gonna be okay. And it does, and it also really sucks when people on this side of it say that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, no, it's not.
I was that person. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
You have no idea.
So maybe you shouldn't even listen to us. Maybe you should listen to her. But the point is,
you get past it, you get through it, you're gonna end up where you're meant to end up. And here's
transfer
the other thing.
applications
Yeah.
are not super expensive.
Yeah, if you don't end up where you want, you can transfer. It's an option, you know? But don't worry, it's all gonna work out. I promise. It will be fine. You will be fine. You will live. It will be fine. I promise you will get through it. Ask me questions, please. Talk to me. I like talking to you people. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I've said like 600 times right now. But okay, I'm probably gonna end it here because I am just a mess right now and I probably should go to sleep. But please like and subscribe if you want. And I know it was kind of a mess at the end, but like, do it. I had a great time filming this video. Oh, sorry. Yeah, like, subscribe, do what you want, comment, reach out to me, I'm saying it again. And you guys got this, you know? Like, don't stress. I know it's stressful, what am I saying? But like, you got it. Yeah, go be awesome. I don't really know how, I end this video differently every time, but like, go be awesome, you're great. Go work on your essays. I should probably go work on my homework, so I will see you guys next Friday. Goodbye, I love you all.